My name's Ian Morley. I'm a joiner. We're in the northwest of England, near the Lake District. I manufacture a collapsible spiker chair which helps kids stay comfortable when recovering from hip osteometry. The reason why we came up with Erins Chair is a friend of mine came to me in lockdown, and his daughter Erin, she had hip dysplasia and she was going to be put in a spiker cast. When a child gets put in a spiker cast, they can't crawl around, they've not got the freedom of movement that a child of that age would have, and there's not much out there to help families. Everything's expensive or it's really difficult to make. So I came up with a very simple collapsible design which allows the child to sit in it and play, eat. Parents kind of have a bit more freedom rather than having to constantly carry the child about or struggle. We've had so many messages of thanks and gratitude saying, I don't know how we'd have got through this process without it. And now we're in the position where, thanks to the Trend SmartBench, we can actually make it here. We were having it manufactured with a company, but it was so expensive, and when families got in touch with us wanting to order them, they'd get in touch knowing that the child's going to have the operation in sort of 3 weeks, 5 weeks time, and we got to a point where it was just months. The waiting time for our orders was taking months and months. This has freed us up to be able to create them as and when we need them. I think the next cheapest one that exists in the UK is about 650 quid, and we sell ours for £200, £199. The original version is made out of 15mm ply. It slots together, takes a minute, 60 seconds to put it together, but having the SmartBench has allowed me to come up with prototypes of other versions, which I'm very much underway with. What we used to do is we used to have it manufactured by a company who timescales or delays with orders, and it became difficult. We were no longer helpful to families that need them. But having a SmartBench means that when anyone places an order, if we are low on stock, it's not a problem. We'll run some off. So it's fantastic. That's the differences in how it was and how it is now. Obviously, as a joiner, I come across Trend a lot. I've got all sorts of bits and bats of Trend stuff. You do make really good products. But I came across the SmartBench. I was in a position where we desperately needed to buy a CNC machine, and I'd been preparing myself to have this humongous thing that was going to be expensive, heavy. It would be filling this garage space, and I'd be kind of stuck with it and lumbered with it, and I was in a position where I was panicking a bit, thinking I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we need to. For the sake of the Erins Chair, we need to be able to do that. And then I got an email late one night, maybe 8 o'clock one night, off Toolstation. They basically said collapsible CNC machine, where they're the only supplier of it, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, this is exactly what this is. I didn't know this existed, but this ticks all the boxes. So I can't really remember how I went about it, but I think there was an option to fill in some of your details, and a Trend Yeti would get in touch and offer like an online demonstration. So I got a phone call the next day. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I got a phone call the next day from somebody at Trend. I said, it's perfect. Like, I don't really need your video demonstration, but I think I need to buy one, so I need to somehow go about that. And I thought, well, I'll be a bit cheeky, and I'll mention this person. I said, I don't suppose you know if Trend's got a department that sort of helps organisations that are doing nice things for the world. And the person listened to my story about Erins Chair, and then let me finish, and then said, well, actually, and I don't normally make these phone calls, but I'm the marketing director. So he said, and then now you've lent me one, and it's incredible. So yeah, I've only got good things to say about it. I think the cost of the SmartBench made it affordable. I can see us having 2 of these at some point, because people spend 100 grand on CNC machines. I realise they've got completely different purposes to what we have, but I don't need that. The stuff I make is a little bit more simple. It's not too intricate. This could cope with the intricate. We can absolutely do it, but I can collapse this away, and I can put it out of the way, and I can put a car in here, or I can use the space for other stuff. So I don't know if there is anything else on the market that does that, but I'm not interested in looking, because this does all that, and it's great. By using the SmartBench, I'm not the person cutting it. It's not taking my time up, so I'm saving time, which is money. And I can fill the sheet. If I've got a sheet and there's a space on it that's going to go to waste, I'll just copy and paste something from another design, try and squeeze that in, so that then the sheet's not being wasted. Even if I'm just using it to make little things like a small version of the Erins Chair, or letters for friends' daughters or whatever to have on the doors, I'm using that space up, and that's for me, that feels better. I'm not wasting it. Feels like I'm saving money. Having the Vectric to design CAD drawings on means that I have a bit more freedom. If I can see there's a mistake, I can alter it, rather than having cut something and going, I've cocked up there. I did have to teach myself how to design, or how to use CAD, because I had no knowledge at all. I can't believe how easy and quickly I actually taught myself to do it. So if I can do that, then I kind of think anyone can. Once upon a time, I used to be a bit of a computer nerd. These days, I mean, you look at them and I don't know how to use the mouse or anything, but I reckon I spent 2 weeks over Christmas, and I'd managed to write the design, do the design from scratch for the Erins Chair, and I've just taught myself as I've gone. But I learnt very quickly, and I mean, I don't want to tempt fate, but everything I've been running off since the first month or so of having it, everything's gone well. It's not a steep learning curve, it's a quick learning curve. When you use Vectric to design products, if you're running something off, if you're running a bunch of the same thing off, you don't have to put the effort into trying to squeeze them all onto the sheet, because you can use the nesting feature, and it does that for you. It's great. It's got Wi-Fi. I can do a design on my laptop at somewhere else in the house, press the buttons, send it to the machine, come in here, and then literally press go on it, and put a sheet of ply in and literally press go. It's that simple. Setting up the SmartBench was really easy. I would like to say it was really quick. I know I could put it together really quick now, but the first time I got it, I was excited, and it probably took me longer than it should, because I was being really careful. But it's what, 7 pieces that sit together, 6 pieces. It doesn't take long. That was that. Done. I leave it up all the time really, but it's not going to get in the way, because I can collapse it down and put it away. Whether it's leaning parts, I can take it with me in the van if I want to. I have been using it for stuff for my site work, but more than anything, it's here. Like if I come up with an idea and I need something for the next day, I can come back and use Vectric, and then just run one off, and then the next day I've got stuff to take with me. It's fantastic. Well, the main benefit of its portability for me isn't so much taking it places, it's being able to collapse it. Because of this workspace, if I'm making a fitted wardrobe for someone, then I need this workspace, but it doesn't take long to collapse it down and put it out of the way. So I could be cutting my melamine sheets or whatever in here, and that's not there. But then if I need it, if I do want to take it to site, then I can take it to site. So before having the CNC machine, I dreamed of having a CNC machine. I needed a CNC machine. I didn't have the space for a CNC machine, and to be honest with you, if I'd have got a huge CNC machine in here, I'd kind of be stuck, and I wouldn't be able to work. I just wouldn't have the space, because I'd be lumbered with it. But having this here to make the Erins Chair has meant that I've had other ideas. I've come up with other things, and it's just things that weren't really possible before here. I don't have to do the actual cutting myself now, so I can be doing something else. This does give me the freedom of having no time. It means I can have this running something off, I can be making something else entirely different, or doing something completely different. So being able to get a piece of ply, a full sheet of ply, out my van, straight onto there, press the buttons, and it starts making whatever it is I need it to make whilst I go and have a brew. It's a win-win.